Well, hello, cool timers. We're back once again with another behind the scenes episode. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And today we're talking about the meet cutes.
Meet cutes, that's right. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out if there's a better title for that, but Operation Meet Cute is what it is.
Operation Meet Cute.
Yeah.
I was thinking of us as like Team Meet Cute.
Team Meet Cute, that might be good too. It turns out that a lot of people have taken a lot of those words on the internet and kind of claimed them. So I'm just trying to find the right combination that I can slip through.
Team Meet Adorable. Or because it took place in a grocery store, it could be Team Meet Cute.
Oh.
M-E-A-T.
M-E-A-T, yeah. Oh,
and then, yeah.
That sounds like a deli you should open in like downtown Portland.
Oh, yeah. So copyright TM, Cool Time Dice Hour.
That's right. We own that.
Trademarked. So is this one based on a system or is this something that you also made up?
This was something I made up entirely on my own because I wanted to, I sort of looked at some of the stuff because the idea was ghosts like helping people. Mm-hmm. So there's most of the ghost things are like aggressive. So it's about haunting. It's about, possession.
There's going to be a battle at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So so none of that really worked. So what I wanted to have is to try and also see how far we could get without having to roll any dice.
Oh, right.
So I had sort of like a modified kind of a little bit what we did in the sushi swipe and a little bit of lasers and feelings, which is something I want to look into. We've both been sort of reading into that to have that. So I had it as a fallback, but I thought, well, you're ghosts, so you're not really able to really physically touch anything. So you're not really, like at one point somebody climbs up on top of something and I'm like, well, sure, you just float. I mean, like you basically just
float up to the top.
So it's not like, it's not about how hard you can throw because you don't have muscles anymore, those kind of things. So I was sort of like, okay, how about we just see how far we get until we need to do something like that.
Need a dice or something?
Right, and it turned out the whole way. Like we made it through it and nobody rolled a single die.
Well, we had
that whole thing. But we did have a mechanic.
The spend, the little spending coins, if you will.
So for those of you who were
diamonds.
not in the audience, which is most of you, I had little cupcake holders that had little glass baubles in them, and you each got 10. And so that's the kind of the mechanic I wanted was that you can't do everything unlimited. Like you have this much energy you have to spend. That sort of like the White Wolf thing, a corpus. Like this is how much you had, and then once you're done, then you're just a ghost.
You're just a ghost.
You can't do any of the magical.
But we were
things.
Quite willing to spend.
Yeah, and that's which is great. That's it. And if it turned out you guys had spent it all and you still had nothing, then that would have also been interesting too. Like, okay, what happens now? Because I didn't actually have any type of system for how you would get that back. I thought the idea was that JAG essentially, or like the Department of Love gives you that, like that's like the investment they make in you, and then sends you out in the field, and if that's what you got, so like there is no way of getting any more.
Right.
So that's sort of
would we have been able to steal each other's?
That's interesting. I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
Because we definitely were making heavy suggestions to each other of what each other should do to spend their tokens.
But I mean, that's part of it too, is that you're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
And so I tried to make it so each power was different enough that it wasn't like somebody, like if you have had one of you able to possess people, that sort of throws the balance off.
Right.
So
because we'd just be doing that the whole time.
You'd just be like walking around as a person. I get that.
Possessing people.
Right. So I think maybe down the line that might come up. I think if it comes back and we try and do it again down the line after you guys are sort of more established, maybe that's something that's like a higher level power that would be given some too. But then there also might be risks.
Or maybe you have to spend a lot more of your coins to get that.
Right. I'd have to figure that part out in terms of risk reward.
So we didn't get as much information as we probably needed up at the top. Were you expecting us to ask lots of questions and be very curious? We were just like, let's do it.
I was interested to see that because eventually this was actually the largest audience we'd ever had for a thing, which was super fun. Like we had a ton of people, and the energy off of them was great too, because they were super into it. And even afterwards, I got some feedback. They're like, yeah, you kind of talked a lot at the top. Like you had a big thing at the top. But I was like, that was intentional. Like the idea was that I was going to just flood you with information. Way like he's talking about stuff that even like your characters have no idea what he's talking about.
Right.
Like no one has explained any of this stuff to you. He even talked about at one point, oh yeah, somebody came to you and explained to you how the universe works. Boy, that must have been fun. That never happened to any of you in my head.
Right.
So like I was just trying to throw as much off you and then basically give you a wall of information and then see what you guys did. Like, what would you pick out? What would you like? Can I ask you about? Can we go to? And then that was intentional in terms of just blindsiding you, just overwhelming you with stuff, and then seeing what you guys would do.
Because it created a huge obstacle that we didn't know what our targets looked like.
Right. So that was fun.
We did know the layout of the store.
Right.
Like we were smart enough to ask for a map of the store, but not smart enough to say what do they look like.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was thinking, it's like once you guys got there, I was sort of like, well, they never asked, and then you came back. Oh yeah, what do they look like? I'm like, yeah, you didn't ask.
Now we're on the spot.
Yeah, you're on exactly. So like you have as much information as you take with you, and after that, you are cut off from anything. So there's no other way to go out there. So even when I don't know whose idea it was to go and do the PA system.
Oh, that was me.
Okay, that was you. I was saying because like right then I was like, oh no, this might be the end of it. Like I was like, oh no, like that. I hadn't thought about that, and I'm like, this could be it. You call them both up, they meet, and then game's over in half an hour. Goodbye, everybody. Like I spend more time talking than you guys ever did.
But smartly, you put earphones in his ears.
That's right. So that was part of it. Is I did not have a whole lot planned in terms of that. Like I had the basic, like the people who were in there. I kind of knew who they were, and I had the layout, and I had like what was sort of in each aisle. But after that, anything could have happened. I mean, I didn't know what you guys were going to do, where we were going to go. So then it just became this sort of, I don't like to think of it as a battle, but it became like us collaboratively storytelling, where I was like, okay, PA, okay, so what would be logical that would be resisting that? I'm like, oh, what if the girl is still there? Like she's waiting for her ride and she's just hanging out in there. So, okay, there's an obstacle. How are you going to get around that? And so it just became those things and trying to find organic ways of having that, so it wouldn't be super easy, but also not trying to be like, no, you can't do that. You know, it's that push pull. That's
definitely didn't feel like it was super easy at all.
Okay,
like I was worried. I was worried that none of the stuff we were going to do was going to work.
Well, I mean, some of the stuff was just so brilliant that it's sort of like, as soon as someone would say something, I'd be like, oh yeah, we're absolutely doing that. Like when he mentioned like, oh, is there, what is it, Argentinian cheese or whatever?
Yes.
I'm like, of course there's Argentinian. Like, sure. Never would have occurred to me. But as soon as he said it, yes, that absolutely became true. That's what's super fun about what we're doing in Cool Time Dice Hour is like you guys throw something out that I did not expect, and then we just sort of weave it into the world.
And I think that's, like you said, it's what makes Cool Time Dice Hour really neat, because it is a different game or a different version of a handful of games each episode. So not only do you not know what you're going to get in terms of the game that is played, but if we're creating these games on the fly, then you've never heard this game before, so it's not like you can just be like, oh, this is one of my favorite Meet Cute Adventure podcasts, because there isn't one. You have to come to Cool Time Dice Hour.
Another story of ghosts helping people fall in love. Ugh.
No, I would love, we have to do a million more. I want one for every holiday. I want a Christmas one.
Oh, the holidays. I hadn't thought about that.
I want a New Year's one. St. Patrick's Day one.
Okay.
What other holidays are there?
Arbor Day.
The Easter. Yeah, Arbor Day for sure.
The most romantic of all
Lesser holidays. National Pizza Day.
That's right.
We need to
Chicken Finger
get some
Day.
people together. Yeah, so requested. Officially requested by me.
Okay. I hadn't thought about connecting to holidays, but that's pretty good.
Well, meeting cute is I suppose is a holiday.
Yeah.
Thing. Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween. Yeah, that'd be interesting because everybody looks different.
Costumes.
Yeah, you don't really know what the person is.
So do you think really like? If you were going to do it another time, would you make it harder for us or easier for us?
I don't know. I guess now that you sort of have an idea what it is, I probably would make it a little bit harder. But I also I really like the playground aspect of it. Like we started with that with Sushi Swipe, where I basically kind of had an obstacle course. That's the sort of idea I had, is that like you're trying to get from A to B, and then like I'm throwing stuff in the way to see like where is it going to go, how's it going to divert, how's it going to change the path. I mean, it's always you start in New York and LA is where the sushi is.
Right.
So but it's like you're going from one place to the other. With this, it was much more of a playground in terms of like I spent way too much time developing the cosmology. Like I have this whole thing about like what the circles are and what they do and what the departments do, which does not matter to the thing at all, but it's just where my brain goes. But really when it comes down to it, it's like I take the people, I like create their backstories, kind of like how they should connect. I put some random stuff in there, some stuff that I think, oh, this actually could help, and some stuff that I'm just like, yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah. Like that sounds like something these people would actually
that sounds
like.
Silly.
Sure, why not? And I have no idea. And then sort of here's the obstacles that are going around, and then I just like, and then all of us step into the playground equally because I don't know what's going to happen at that point, and I have not planned out how you're going to succeed.
Right.
Like I talked about this because Zoe is sort of my sounding board for a lot of these things. So I was saying like, do I need to like have a thread that says if they do A plus B plus C, it'll get to the thing, like the meet cute, like the magic thing.
Happen.
And then I sort of like gently guide you along that thing. And she's like, no, like just let them in, let them run around inside. Yeah.
Were you ever worried that we wouldn't do anything, or that we would just be like, I don't know, you tell me what happens next?
No, I don't think so. Because after having, it was good that this was like our 10th game or whatever. I had a feeling of what your players like, and I know you are slightly competitive in terms of like, in terms of you want to accomplish the goal.
I do. I'm goal oriented.
You want to solve the mystery. You want to. I mean, competitive is not the right word, but like you want to like tick things off on the list, and you want to like succeed. I guess.
Yeah.
Like
you
want
give
to
me
have
a goal. I want them to be cute.
You're not I'm just gonna
go poke something.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna mess around just to mess around. And same thing with I know who I was gonna have it too with Karen. Or after you guys. You had the same sort of group that I had done multiple things with. I kind of had an idea that way, but a lot of it is you had essentially an hour to do it. So you could have messed around a lot, and that would have been fine too. That would have filled the time. Like they wouldn't have gotten together, so it would have not been necessarily a happy ending.
Well, that would not have made me happy at all. What do you think, listeners? Would you have been happy if we hadn't gotten them together? No,
it's
right?
The journey. It's the journey.
Well, it's about the journey where people meet cute at the end. What did you think of the meet cute adventures? The Operation Meet Cute Diaries, the Operation Greetings of Adorableness.
Let me ask you then, while we're still talking, then, like, Kara seemed to have like she had some issues, like she had died recently in terms of the context of the thing. How do you feel about your character? Like, is she like okay with how things are? And like, is she interested in like what's going on in the I
think that she wants people to find love. Okay. I think that she wants people to find love, and whether it's forever love or just a good time, not a long time.
That's a different department,
right?
Those people are out there, but that's just a different department.
I think that she just wants people to have love in their lives.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I think she still wants to find love. So if she meets a cute ghost out there,
all right.
Maybe she'll be looking for.
I'm always curious to try to figure out. Like, I don't want to necessarily sideline you guys, like and the characters you have created and stuff too. But at the same time, it's a little bit designed that you could just sort of plug in. And go. But
I thought Kara did a great job of that too, of bringing it back to like her character being sort of sad and like seeing the love as being like a sad thing because she didn't get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought I was really like interested in her like being sad.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the things I sort of had put out to you when I sent the initial email about what it is that I wanted you all to have very strong feelings about this kind of love, and so you all sort of picked different thing. I don't, and those might come into play later on, so I don't want to necessarily put it out. But that's one of the things I wanted is like to have
I want them to
as
come
opposed
into
to
play.
you guys. The idea is that you weren't chosen at random.
Okay.
He didn't just like take a big scoop and go into the ether and like.
We're a crack team.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Like the idea is that you could be.
Right.
Like that you were chosen because you have this strong emotional connection to love, whether that's positive or negative or something else. That's sort of at the core. And that's pretty much all I gave you guys in terms of what your character would be like. Everything else you did was entirely your own.
So if you developed the whole backstory of all the people in the behind the scenes thing, do you think there's a chance that we could get to see like a different kind of meet cute, like other than like romantic love? Could we see one of the other departments of like friendship love?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's the idea, is that there are different departments doing those different jobs, and they're all understaffed and can't do it too. So yeah, they're like you're talking about the good time, not a long time. Like there is a department for that.
Yeah.
But that one,
that's the easy department.
They're doing
fine.
They're doing fine. Like, they don't really need any help. It's this one that's.
It's the adult friendships one. That's who they need help.
It's probably of the five. Those are the two ones that are having the hardest time.
Meeting a platonic friend.
Right. Yeah. I think you guys might need to be a little bit more skilled.
We have to level up.
Yeah, because we never send you to that, because that's a lot more nuanced, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Well, challenge extended. We'll try to work up to it.
Yeah.
So what do you got brewing up? What are you thinking about for future upcoming?
I gotta say, I mean, we're at the time of recording, we're a couple episodes past it, so we've already done, I don't even know, 4 or 5 other episodes after that, the one that we're behind the scenes now. But like, I have to say, like, that for me, this was a high point.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like what we have been doing and me, like I'll turn back to me. So because you guys have been fantastic players the entire time. Like I felt, this is the first time I felt like, oh, I now kind of know what I'm doing.
I did it.
Yeah. Like I feel like my storyteller / game master / dungeon master thing, like it finally like.
Takmu.
Yeah, my Takmu, like really like activated in this one, because I really felt so connected in this. Like I feel like I leveled up during that game. And I was like, oh, this is what I wanted. Like this is the kind of thing I wanted to, like the environment I wanted to create, the players I wanted to do it with, the people I wanted to watch it and listen. Like this was like it hit. Like I suddenly hit level 1 or whatever it was. Yeah, exactly. Like afterwards, I felt like I went up in experience and like I needed to assign my new points.
Yay! Really up in the air. There were 3 ghosts who were somehow helping us.
And going through each other's hands.
Yes.
So I think it is very likely that we will return to this world, because
great.
I feel like it is a good place, and I think you guys seem to have fun.
It was great. I loved it. I felt a high point too, and part of that was having such a great audience. We love having a live audience. So if you're listening and you're anywhere near the downtown Mesa area, come out and see what we're doing, because we're really creating a cool time. Yeah. We're having a cool time, and we want you to come be a cool timer.
And a half.
Yeah. Because we're doing all kinds of different things. So you never know what you're going to see, but you know it's going to be a great, good time. Yeah. But please, like, rate, review, star, thumbs up.
You can, on the site, I think you can do by individual episodes. So if you want to just, send somebody specifically like meet cutes, like, hey, you like this, you can.
Yeah, please do that. We would love it.
You don't have to start episode 1 if you don't want to.
But you should.
But you should.
But you should. If you love this one, go back.
Yeah, that's right.
And thank you so much for listening. And, when you're out there having a cool time, be sure to bring your dice.
For an hour?
For an hour.
Stay cool, cool timers.
Stay cool, cool timers.